Hey guys, it's Stephen here. Welcome back to another opposition preview, and I've got the Don Robbie on the channel. Manchester City play Arsenal this weekend, so of course I have to ask Robbie to come on. It's going to be a very interesting game. Robbie, how you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, well, I am good,
video.
man. I never look forward to a game against you lot, man. You know what I mean? You're the one. I was saying to the guys earlier on that there's a lot of teams over the past few years, we've been having a tough time, right? But a lot of the sort of traditional big six teams, we'll go to their place and they'll beat us. But most of them, when we bring them back to the Emirates, whether it be Liverpool, whether it be Man United, Chelsea, Emirates is a different thing. When we get them back there, we'll beat them. Or the worst we'll get against those teams at the Emirates is a draw. But the one team that seems to do the same thing to us as they do at their place is City. It's been a very, very tough nut for us to crack. And
why do you think that is, man? Why do you think that is? Is there any particular reason? Like, is it just a quality thing, or do you reckon it's the way we play or something like that? What do you think the difference is?
Yeah, I think it's to do with, obviously the quality of your squad is unbelievable, but I think it is to do with your style of play. In that, really, basically, I think you're the one club, Liverpool probably the other club out of that plays exactly the same away from home as you do at home.
Yeah.
Whereas you get a lot of other teams where, like your Chelsea's, Man United's and that, they're more, they're quite attacking at home. But when they come away from home, it's all about counter-attack and stuff like that. And, but they don't play the same as when they play at home. But I think City's a team that, whether it's home or away, it's exactly the same. You know what you're going to be up against. So, I guess that's the reason why.
So I'm hoping it's going to be the same, personally, of course. But we've had now, I think last year, I remember chatting to you basically not long after Arteta joined him. We've had over a year now of Arteta ball and stuff like that. And it still very much feels like a work in progress from the outside looking in. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but if you were to do like a 1-year assessment report so far for Arteta, how would you feel like it's gone so far?
I think it's been mixed. Obviously he won the FA Cup, so that's giving him a lot of credit in the bank with Arsenal fans, and it was a good win as well. It wasn't like one of those FA Cups where, like what Tottenham will do, where you get teams like Marine or something like that, you get past those. You know what I mean? We had to get past. We had to get past at the time a very good Sheffield United team. They were having a good season. We had to beat them in the quarterfinals. We then away. We then had to beat you guys in the semi-final, which nobody really gave us a chance of doing. And then in the final, we had Chelsea, and nobody gave us a chance to win that. And he won that. Then after that, followed it up by beating Liverpool in the Community Shield. And, those were the good signs about him. Those are the good things. But then this has not been a great season. We've already lost 10 games, which is, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
As an Arsenal fan. And, the mitigating circumstances I feel to that is that he's had a lot of issues to clear up at the club. We had a lot of players just sitting around doing nothing, basically. Mesut Ozil, Kolasinac, Mustafi, these guys on very, very high wages who are basically players from another manager's era that he didn't want to use any of those guys. He's trying to focus on younger players coming through. And he needed to get rid of them. Now, he did get rid of them in the January transfer window. And we've seen a bit of an upsurge. But in recent weeks, again, it's been a bit, at the moment, he doesn't have the players he wants. We are starting to see more of a style of play. I think that was another criticism as well. Like earlier on in the season, I didn't know what we were doing. We were playing with 3 at the back, 2 holding midfielders. It was very... I guess he was trying to, focus on defence first. But in recent weeks, and I guess since before Christmas, we see more attacking intent from the team. We've seen us on the front foot. He's brought in Martin Odegaard. He's looking like a more creative player. I think Emile Smith-Rowe has been excellent. So there's signs are improving. But I guess if I was giving him an overall mark out of 10 so far, it'd probably be a 6. He's still got a way to go, but I'm being patient. I don't think it's going to happen this season for him. I really want to see if they back him in the summer and see what he does. I do think there's a good manager there.
So how did it go against Benfica the other day? Because I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to that personally, but obviously that's a big chance for you guys to get in the Champions League now. Is it a case that you'll have your eye on that second leg more than you'll have your eye than a City game? Is the City game even a big deal for Arsenal at the moment? You know, broadly speaking.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not. It's not really, because our eyes are on that Europa League tie. We drew 1-1 with Benfica. We missed very easy chances in the game. We should have been out of sight in that game. I do believe that that's the priority game, the Benfica game. I think he'll rest some players because that game's important. If we lose that game, our season is over. It's going to be very difficult even to get into the top 6 in the league. I mean, you can go on a run and get this. It's such a crazy season. But if any chance of getting into the Champions League exists through the Europa League, and we've got to beat Benfica. So it wouldn't surprise me if he rested maybe a Saka, who's been...
That would be wonderful from our perspective. That'd be wonderful from us.
It wouldn't surprise me if he rested him. It wouldn't surprise me if he rested a couple of others. But then I guess he could still put out a fairly strong team because, the squad's not bad. Now that he's moved on certain players, the squad, it's not as deep, nowhere near as deep, obviously, as your team. But, I guess if he rests Aubameyang, which he might do, he can bring in Lacazette or Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah, of course.
So I expect a couple of players to be rested just because that game coming up Thursday is such an important game. So, and then we got injured. I mean, Thomas Partey has been brilliant for us when he's played this season, but has been continually injured. I don't think he'll play in the game because if he's even nearing fitness, he won't want to risk him. He'll want him for that against Benfica. We got some tough games coming up. We got you guys, Benfica, then Leicester. So
it's not easy.
It's a tough little run of 3 games. So
what's your take on City? What's your take on City from the outside looking in? Obviously, we know it's a very good team, but how does this team, in your opinion, compare to maybe the 17-18 or 18-19? Does it feel different looking at it, or is it pretty much more the same as far as you're concerned?
It feels a bit different. I think it's a different type of City in a way. It's a more resilient City. I think that previous City team you just mentioned there was probably, for me, a bit more exciting. Not to say this one isn't, but I just feel that this one does the basics very well. In that the defense is solid at the moment. I've been really impressed with Diaz. John Stones is like, wow, he's just like, we were getting linked with him in the summer, and Arsenal fans were like, no thanks, we don't want it.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. To be fair, he was in bad form, so I don't really blame you.
To see how he's playing now, he's looking back to the John Stones that you guys thought you were going to get when you signed him. You know what I mean? And I think Cancelo has been impressive. But I just feel that looking at the City, it seems like a better, more gelled team at the moment. And they do what you guys do, which is like you're always on the front foot. You're positive and you play great football. I do feel, and I did say it to you when we've been speaking before, I do feel that there's been some teams that have played City and have just waved the white flag as the game started. I mean, I watched the Tottenham game the other day. And I'm like, the talent they have up front in Harry Kane and Son and Ndombele. I was surprised at the way, well, maybe I shouldn't have been with Mourinho, but just surprised at the way they just gave up all possession, didn't really have a go. And I think there's been quite a lot of teams that I've seen play City recently. You haven't really had a go. Only really sort of Liverpool is about the only team I've seen kind of have a go. So I'm hoping that Arsenal have a go. But City is a Pep Guardiola machine, isn't it? And, he really is an excellent manager. And, if you're not on it against City, you're going to lose. But
how do Arsenal get something from this, man?
Surprised at the run. Sorry?
Yeah. How do Arsenal get something from this game then, man? If you're Arteta now, like what you're doing, like, I mean, obviously there is ways you can get something from the game. It's not impossible. I know City winning loads, but we conceded goals and we've dropped points before this league and we will do it again. I mean, so what would you want to see Arteta do in this game now, in terms of setup and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I want him to set up in, how he's been setting up recently, which is the sort of 4-2-3-1. But I want to see bravery. from the team. I think that's the only way you can beat City. If you go out and it's just like, all right, which I've seen literally every team which is like, yeah, they're going to have the ball. City are going to have the ball the whole game. We'll just sit in and hopefully we'll get a counter. You're not going to win. You're going to lose. You might get lucky, but you're going to lose the game, right? Because they'll just keep knocking on the door. Eventually, they'll break you down, score a goal, right? I want to see Arsenal be a bit braver. Like when we played you in the FA Cup, where, you know, we tried to pass out from the back. We tried to beat the press. We tried to, you know what I mean? We were brave in our possession. Whereas I felt that when we played you earlier on in the season, it was how I just described it earlier, where it was just like sit in, try and counter, and we kind of like gave up all possession and you just kept knocking on the door and you got the goal. So I want to see bravery. I think the only way and your only chance to beat Manchester City is to be brave, is to have a go, not recklessly, but have a go. Be on the front foot as well. Yeah. Give Manchester City's defence something to worry about. Play some balls in behind. Try and, you know, as I said, you know what I mean? Try and keep possession yourselves. And, you know, try and break those lines of City as well. Give them, you know, nobody's been doing that recently. So, and I think that's the only way you're going to get any joy against Man City.
It's tough against us. We're dead organised. You know, it's really difficult. But I mean, some teams like Villa, for example, and Brighton tries to play football against us. And I had a little bit of luck, to be honest. I mean, I do think that's Arsenal's best chance of. We still won those games, but they gave us a fright. And obviously, you got a bit of quality as well. One guy who does, Saka. There's a lot of debate going around the league at the moment about the best youngster and all that kind of stuff. I mean, how does Saka compare to Foden? You know, in terms of quality for you, man. Like, I know obviously you'll be more your Saka boy, and I'll be the Foden guy. But how good is this kid?
He's brilliant. And remember, the team that he's playing in at the moment is nowhere near as good as City's. And if he was playing in your team, I think he'd be frightening. He's so good. He
we can sort that out.
Goals, scores goals, assists, can play multiple positions. He can play left back. He can play left wing. He can play right wing, what he's playing at the moment. He can play anywhere. He can play number 10. You know, he's so strong in possession. I mean, he's now come under the same treatment as what, say, happens to Sterling, Foden, Grealish, wait to stop him, kick him to the floor. That's which is always a compliment, but that's what's happening to him now. But he's a very, very good player. I mean, I rate Foden as well. It's really hard to split the two. I'm going to be biased and go for Saka just because of, you know, the reason why I'm biased is because I just feel that, you know, he's not playing in as good a team.
No, he's been special. He's special.
You know,
Can't deny that.
And I think it's exciting as an England fan, you know, to know that we got these two brilliant young players. You know what I mean? And that are ready to play at that level. They're first team players. They're not. You know, they're not kids that we use sparingly. They're kids that play every week. So it's close. I mean, I'll go for Saka, but I can understand if a City fan goes for Foden. I get it. You know, I mean, it's very close, very close.
Finally, man, I have to do the prediction bit. I know, obviously, we've been on your channel chatting away and stuff like that, and you gave a bold prediction over there. Not too bold, but cautiously bold, stuff like that. Are you sticking with the same one over here?
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my 2-2 draw. As I said over on my channel, it's normally the side. It's normally the side that you don't want to go against your team, but you know. But we just got such a poor record against you in the league recently. Even though we're playing at home, there's no fans there either. You know what I mean? So again, that levels it out. I mean, it's going to be a tough ask. And then, as I said, we do kind of have one eye on this Europa League game. It is. Yeah. It is.
You played a strong team, didn't you, as well?
Sorry?
You played a strong team against Benfica, didn't you, as well? It was pretty much a strong team, wasn't it?
Yeah. We played a strong team against them, and we should have been, as I said, you know, I mean, Aubameyang missed a couple of, I mean, he scored a hat-trick last week, and then against Benfica, inexplicably missed some very easy chances. I'd be surprised if he played at the weekend. I get the feeling they'll start Lacazette. But then, you never know with Arteta, he does love to spring surprises, and I think he'd love to get one over his old boss, you know what I mean? But Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. I'm going 2-2.
Well, City conceding 2 goals is a rarity, man. So if that happens, we deserve to drop points these days. Anyway, Robbie, you're a hero, man. Don't forget to go check out Don Robbie's channel as well, man. His new channel, I was on there for the watch on the other day, and it was great.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant. Your goal
class,
celebration. Man. Your goal celebration. What was it? Iko Gundogan.
Mate, I absolutely. Oh, Mr. Whippy, man. That's the City fans call him now.
Mr. Whippy. Where's that come from? Because I was
whipping the ball in the top corner, man. He's probably whipping it about here, but he's a baller, absolute quality. But Don Robbie, man, absolute legend. Go check out his new channel. It's brilliant. Loads of brilliant, actual, genuine football chat over there for real football fans and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you all know about AFTV, of course, by now. But I'm over there as well, so go and check that out. For now, Robbie, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you. Cheers.
And guys, like, comment, subscribe. See you in a bit.